If you're anything like me, then you're a shapeshifter. And yeah, you can't change your physical shape, but you always change. You often, very often, change your personality shape. Now, I'm sure there is a more appropriate, a more scientific term for this out there, but I have no idea what that is. So I just call it the shapeshifter personality. And this personality type is a personality lacking authenticity in a way, a personality that just molds itself based on the content they consume, based on the content you consume, of course, and based on the persons you spend time with. Now, arguably, you know that saying that you are the average of the five people you spend the most time with. Nowadays, since we consume so much content, we are the average of the five people whose content we consume the most. We also have a huge bias. We all think we are in the spotlight in every single situation, not the other persons, but every single person believes the same thing. So we understand that bias, we understand how our personality tends to change automatically based on who we spend the most time with. But for this personality type, for people suffering from this, I believe this is even more, much more severe. Because we adopt the mannerisms, we adopt the accent, we just tend to copy everything from the persons we admire. And they might be TV show characters, movie characters, possibly even persons from books, like characters from books, of course, friends, people on YouTube. If you identify with this, then hopefully I'll be able to guide you, if you'd like, towards getting out of this state, because I managed to get out of this state and I believe find maybe not the most authentic self, but a more authentic self, an enhanced sense of authenticity than I had before. Is the shapeshifter personality an issue? Absolutely, because when you don't have a strong sense of authenticity, people are able to spot that. Every single one of us has a mechanism that automatically detects whether a person is trustworthy or not. And persons that display certain signs of authenticity, we are more likely to trust them, we are more likely to bond with them and to open up to them. I don't think these signs are a very quantifiable form of behaviors or something like that. It's a pretty abstract subject, that's what I'm trying to say, because our minds detect that automatically and we find it hard to put a label on why a certain person is more trustworthy than other. But we just evolved in such a way that we are able to detect that. And basically, other persons are able to spot that you are less authentic than you should be. Other people spot the difference that this week, like this day, today, you act in a certain way, and then 2 weeks later, you act completely differently. Like, why do you do that? And then, for you as well, when you don't have this strong sense of self, then you just get depressed in a way. You kind of lack direction in life and you don't really know you don't understand what life is all about. You don't understand how you should behave. But when you find that authentic core, then you can justify every single action that you take, every single thought and behavior you have by that authentic self. How do you do that exactly? I don't know. I believe it's again something very abstract, and I'm sure you could intuitively spot it, even if your intuition is not that great. If you take a step back from social media and you just spend time in solitude, not being stimulated by anything, not being in touch, in contact with people, just you by yourself, looking at the wall, having a journal. And this authentic self will come to you because that's who you truly are. Now, we could also get quite philosophical here and argue whether there is an authentic self in the first place. Are we a blank canvas when we are born and people just mold us into what they want us to be? Or are we meant to be someone before we are born? That's too philosophical for me, to be honest, and I don't know what to say about that. But what I do know is that if you have a strong sense of authenticity, then you have direction in life and you are less prone to becoming depressed and anxious and all these weird states of mind. That's exactly why this is so important. That's exactly why having a strong sense of self, is vital. If you don't, you are lost. And if you do, life becomes better. If you do, you bond with people. You start feeling more free socially and in every single situation. And you are able, as I said, to justify everything you do. You stop overthinking. You just know that this is who you are. And you know, self doubt and questioning yourself will never go away completely. But if you are currently a shapeshifter, then you're experiencing way more of this overthinking than you should be. And grass is greener on the other side. This time, the saying is appropriate.